Hi, it's me again. Today, a little different. I have a glass of wine and a candle lit. I kind of low key fell in a lot, and that's okay. But it has driven me to want to talk about one of my favorite albums of all time. And this artist, low key, has faced so much backlash on the internet because of fucking just like like her new music is a little more like you can tell just supposed to be fun and like a little more silly and whatnot. But a lot of people have only heard those songs, and so like it kind of just puts this like kind of perspective or like this what is a like how could you word that like this idea that she makes only music like that and whatnot, or like they diminish like her artistry and whatever. And I think that's so disrespectful and sad. But anyways, one sec. The artist, obviously Gracie Abrams. Um, and the album, my personal, this album literally means so much to me. And like I said, I have a record collection, so like obviously I have this one, and I have a poster of one specific song on my wall from this album too. Good Riddance, possibly my top three albums of all time, like in the top three. And there's so many reasons for that. So like I think I should start about like when I first heard Gracie, and I think so. Like, picture this: Taylor Swift announces Eras tour, right? And like obviously the show I ended up going to was one that Gracie opened for, and like before, so that was like November of 2022, yeah. And I um wanted to like see what she was about, obviously, because I like doing that whenever I find out like someone I'm going to see and like their opener. I want to like kind of get familiar, not familiar with their discography, but like at least understand what they're going for. No, not going for. At least understand what their music is about, I guess, you know. And so, anyways, I was doing that, and I like didn't really like connect with anything off the bat, right? At that time, Good Riddance had just come out, right? No, it didn't. I think all that was out was still This Is What It Feels Like, um and Minor. And anyways, so like I was like just didn't connect with that and whatnot. And like I never ended up listening to her again until the week we came that came. I think the show I went to was the second show Gracie had ever opened for Taylor, and it was Arlington Night 2. Um but golly, I have never felt the way I felt with an opener with her, like that I did with her. And so like I was there and obviously really excited to see Taylor and whatnot. And Beba Doobie was also opening, and like obviously I had known more of her music at that time. But anyways, I was so blown away with Gracie's performance, and I'm pretty sure the first song she came out to was "Where Do We Go Now," and then it was "I Know It Won't Work," which are both songs from this album, and then "Block Me Out," and then "21." Obviously three songs from Good Riddance. And initially, the first song I remember like processing in my brain was "Where Do We Go Now," because it's obviously like the chorus is a little bit more repetitive and whatnot. That song means so much to me, by the way. Anyways, so like, yeah, I just remember like feeling so like emotional like listening to it, and I was like, wow, this is crazy. And so, anyways, like tour or like that show ended, went home, and like I got curious, and so I started listening to it. And I remember the first song I remember loving so fucking much, and this is genuinely like top five songs of all time, and it's "Block Me Out." And oh, like I don't even know how to explain it. Like she, like I was saying in like the video before, like music for me is something I always like listen to, and I see it more of like it helps me understand myself more, especially emotions. Because it's like hard to verbalize certain feelings, but I feel like some artists are just so good at that, like Fiona Apple, Taylor Swift, Gracie Abrams. Anyways, so like I just remember being so like, oh my god, like this is so emotional, right? And you know, like obviously I listened to more of her music and whatnot. And then I ended up seeing her like, I think I've seen her 4 times. Twice at the Eras tour, and then at the Secret of Us tour, and then I went to Boston, not only for the deluxe tour, but like I was visiting family and whatnot. And obviously, like at that time, she was there, and so we went to that too. And like, I think with her, it's like she's obviously younger as an artist, right? Not like the youngest. I think she's 26, 25. But at the time, like this album came out, she was also still like kind of not underground, but like less known and whatnot. And I found it so like beautiful because I remember when I first saw her perform, like she was so nervous and like just quiet and just like shy, like like I don't even know how to explain it because it's just she's so different now, and not in a bad way or anything. It's like obviously growth, but like I was just like wow, I just really resonated with her as a person, I guess, at that time. And then anyway, so like I started falling more in love with the album, and it just stuck to me. But anyways, I think I should talk more about the actual album. And I think like first of all, it's like extremely cohesive. Like I've listened to it front and back, and like every song belongs on the album. And now there is a few songs that were like more grovers and whatnot, but I think what like happened was like I just like obviously I've been struggling with depression and whatnot in my life, and like there are certain songs, especially Block Me Out, where it's like she's describing these like intense feelings to the point where it's like it's not like anyone else. Like you're very aware from the fact that like what you're feeling and the way you're feeling is because of yourself and in your head, because like it's just unrealistic, and they're like a lot of far-fetched ideas. And that's kind of like what Block Me Out is. It's like your brain is just wondering so much that you don't see like rationally, I guess that's how you can word it. And so like I've literally always been like that. Like I also have like anxiety and whatnot, and like I don't know, that's like the like one song in my life I feel like can describe how my brain works. And I know it's kind of sad, but like it's nice understanding what I'm feeling, even if it is sad. And I appreciate that about this album so much, because it like I feel like it helped me understand myself a little bit more. And I just don't know how to explain it. I have fawned over this album like so much because of just like the work. It's like the lyricism. It might at first, like if you listen to it, like I feel like a lot of people like silly, right? But like the deeper you get into the album, the more serious it fucking gets. Like it's like obviously a lot of these situations are more things that younger people go through, and like so it's like it's harder for like adults to connect with the music. But I think once you like overlook that specific thing and listen to more of the songs that are like not about certain experience and more about like internal stuff, which is I feel like her best writing comes from like her describing the way she feels, right? And like I don't know, it's so insane that someone so like she's lived a very like I wouldn't say okay, I'm gonna say it as it is. Like she's lived a privileged life, of course. Like her dad's already been famous and whatnot, but she's also like it's so like it makes it almost in a sense like she is like her music makes her become it makes you very aware of how much of a real person she is instead of like an artist, right? Or like some big celebrity that you just like look and admire up to. And like she's just so like her music is so vulnerable, and I think she did that at a time where it's like she obviously wasn't famous, so it's like she had not as much pressure to like please people. And I loved that. Like she just describes so many emotions, and I think with someone who struggled with depression, she like genuinely like has described certain feelings that I feel like I felt, and it's very like heartwarming, because it's like again like I said, she's obviously like a little bit more privileged, but she obviously is still human. She struggles, she has her own struggles. But not only that, it's like something I personally struggle with, so I think that's why I connect with her so much. And like obviously like her newer stuff, like I didn't have a problem with it. I liked it. I can enjoy a good pop song. That's one thing. But like I just I think Gracie Abrams, my emo queen, that's like the best way to describe it. She's super like in it's like the way she describes her emotions are just so intelligent. Anyways, I feel like I'm rambling now. But like you kind of get the gist. It's like it's just a really special album to me, and I think people need to like give her more of a chance because it's so it just makes me so angry because like people will say shit about like her and like oh her music's so surface level and like oh it's like for little kids whatever. I'm like have y'all like it makes me like it just goes to show like how like ignorant most people are and like just they don't care to look beyond the surface. And I think I feel like that's the kind of person she is from like the way her music is written. And so obviously I'm gonna go be more geared towards her. And I don't think popularity has to do with anything with any of the artists because like Taylor Swift for example gives me the same feeling. Like it's like authenticism and like they're just super like doing what they do because they want to do it and they love it. Yeah, I'm really excited to see where her new music goes. Like for example, whenever we went to the deluxe tour, or I went to the deluxe tour, she performed out of nowhere, and I remember like seeing the what do you call it there where she first performed it. It was at I forgot what festival, Glastonbury. Yeah, that one. I was like blown away by that song because I was like, I don't know, she just keeps stepping up, and I'm excited to see where her career goes. Anyways, that's why this album is one of my favorites of all times. It's very sad, very like me. I'm not a sad I mean, a little bit, but like I'm also very like I try to appreciate the small things, and I kind of like yeah. Anyways, too much. Anyways, thank you for listening. Bye.